Many people who are seriously injured face a long road to recovery, but for individuals with a catastrophic injury, recovery is much more uncertain and really means something different. The catastrophic injury case is the most severe type of personal injury matter. These folks or their loved ones need to have a strong attorney on their side to make sure they're financially covered for the future. A catastrophic injury is typically something that has a life-altering consequence, either some sort of permanent disfigurement, some sort of loss of use of a limb, something that really changes your life trajectory. Common types of catastrophic injuries are traumatic brain injuries, injuries to the spinal cord, sometimes resulting in paralysis, severe burns and scarring. And those can result from a variety of things. Automobile accidents, trucking accidents, motorcycle wrecks, slip and fall, medical malpractice. It really doesn't take a lot sometimes to cause a catastrophic injury. It just depends upon the circumstances. One of the major components of any catastrophic injury case is first establishing fault or liability, as we call it. This is who did what wrong. That is the entryway to even get to what is the injury and what are the damages. If you can't establish fault, we're not even talking about damages. And so that's one of the things that defendants frequently fight in these cases because of that. And because of the way that the laws are, it can be difficult to prove some of those things. Some of the stuff that we'll rely on in investigating a catastrophic injury case for liability are witness statements, if there's been any sort of police report, surveillance footage from cameras that are on the street, witnesses that were present in the area. Those sorts of things can help put the pieces together to show who did what wrong and what did they do. Damages that you can recover in a catastrophic injury case are primarily three categories: economic damages, non-economic damages, and permanent impairment damages. Economic damages are anything with a dollar sign that you either incurred or spent related to the injury. So frequently these are things like medical bills, lost wages, out-of-pocket expenses. Non-economic damages are things that we typically refer to as pain and suffering damages or loss of a normal life damages. These are sometimes the biggest damages in any case, just because they're often the things that have the most long-term consequences for people. Relatedly, permanent impairment damages are also a major component of catastrophic injury cases. Most of these cases involve somebody permanently being limited in some way, often physically. So the impact on that over the course of their life is huge. One of the things that Colorado has are damages caps for non-economic damages. So making sure that you are maximizing your economic damages and your permanent impairment damages is the way that we ensure that you're getting the most recovery that you can, or maximizing your compensation for your catastrophic injury. A catastrophic injury case proceeds often like in the beginning, most cases. We figure out liability, or who's at fault. Then we want to figure out, is there insurance coverage available to compensate you for what happened? Once we do that, we then begin the process of documenting your injuries and your losses. What are your economic damages? What are your non-economic damages, and how can we establish those? And what are your permanent impairment losses? Once we have established all those damages, established liability, and figured out who the insurance company is, quite frequently we'll engage the insurance company in negotiation to see if we can try to resolve the case. This will save you time and money in the long run if we can reach a resolution. Fortunately, sometimes that does not always work, and the insurance company is not willing to fairly and appropriately compensate you, which means it will have to file a lawsuit in your case. The case is typically assigned a trial date about 12 to 18 months out from the date that you filed the case. And during that time, again, we're developing evidence in the case to support our claim and figure out what their arguments are. And we do that in a large part by retention of experts. A lot of these cases, that'll be your medical providers. Those are often your strongest witnesses in these cases, because those are the people with expertise and personal familiarity with your situation. So we'll work with them to develop that evidence, prepare them for trial, also speak with family members and friends or coworkers to get an understanding of how these injuries, these catastrophic injuries, have impacted you. And then the case proceeds to trial if necessary. Trials in these cases can be anywhere from 5 to 10 days, at the end of which a jury will make an assessment on what they believe the damages are. My goal is to ensure you or your loved one will be in the best financial position possible for the future, whether that's reaching a settlement or going to trial. Call our office to begin a case assessment.